Hey there, comic book friends. I'm Travis, and this is another edition of No Capes, where I talk about comic books that don't have to do with superheroes, and or either Ethan doesn't read them or doesn't review them along with me. First up today, we're going to talk about BPRD 1984. This is number 4 of 5. I really like the art in this. I like Max Furama's art. The story in this one, though, I don't know. One issue to finish this up, and it feels like most of this issue was kind of a spin its wheels kind of a thing. So I'm not sure exactly what's up. This issue doesn't really further the storyline a whole lot. It just establishes that one of the scientists is very science-oriented, does not believe in mysticism, the occult, or anything like that, believes that's all hokum, and is pretty pissed off at our professor for implying that this whole nuclear explosion thing that's happened and whatnot is actually some sort of, has affected some sort of geomagical forces to create the creatures that have come over. And there is some cool scenes in this with this giant pile of birds and vultures and stuff that's kind of cool. But as far as all the BPRD stuff that I have read to date, this is the least satisfying just because it feels like it really hasn't gone anywhere. And I don't know how in the next issue it's going to answer or tell us anything that doesn't just leave a giant opening. And this is a mini-series. This is supposed to be its own contained within this year mini-series. So, I mean, I understand that maybe like 1947, there was a 1947 and there was a 1946, that all of these might tie together to some degree, but certainly in one issue, they're not going to tie up what the hell's going on in this, I wouldn't think. Or if they do, it's going to be very anticlimactic, I think. So, as far as that goes, that's kind of disappointing. This is a pretty cool cover by Dave Johnson, though. Love all the birds, because there's this massive swarm of birds in the book. And the birds look pretty cool here. Almost looks MC Escher-esque, but not quite. But like I said, the art's pretty cool. The story feels pretty dissatisfying, though. Like it didn't finish the thing out. Anyway, next up is Comeback. And this is issue 3. I cannot remember how many issues this miniseries is. This is an interesting series. Art's a little on the shaky side. I'm not quite totally on board with it, as per usual when I review this book. But I like the story. Things are really coming to a header. You got this craziness going on, these alternate, multiple versions of one of the characters that works for this time-jumping secret corporation is kind of threw a wrench in everything, is messing stuff up. FBI is coming in. It's all going to get crazy here in the next issue. But this is a pretty exciting issue. And the person that they've snatched, this woman that they've snatched out of the hospital, they were supposed to rescue, bring to the future, and avoid her dying, has made it quite clear that she does not want to go back to her husband that has paid all this money to have her back and whatnot. She has nothing to do with it. If she's a dead person right now, she is going to stay on board with being a dead person and not get hooked up into anything. So that's pretty cool and really puts a serious wrinkle in the book. So it'll be really curious to see what what comes of this. I can't remember. I think it's a 5-issue series, not a 4-issue series. So the next 2 issues we should see some pretty exciting stuff, I would think, to end this out, and what kind of utter chaos happens in the process. And I love these covers. Anyway, next I'm going to talk about the Black Beetle, issue number 1. Outstanding book by Francisco Francavilla. He both writes and draws this book. The storyline itself seems relatively basic as far as a pulp type, hero type thing goes, but the artwork in it is absolutely outstanding. Nobody does pulp, I don't think, like Francisco does. And this character of his is kind of he's kind of a mix of the pulp 30s, 40s noir kind of thing, but he's like Batman in the way that he's got some gadgets and stuff, but his gadgets are vintage of that era, kind of. Like he's got his own personal backpack gyrocopter that he flies out to this island on, which is pretty sweet. The guy's car is absolutely cool. It looks like a old 1930s era type Hudson. Just a really slick, cool looking car. And the artwork in it is fabulous. This is going to be a 4-issue series. My understanding is the book's sold out. I'm pretty sure you can find it places. There's second printing that's going out with a different kind of a costume in it. But still pretty cool. And the what seems to be the main villain in it looks like it's going to be a pretty interesting character also. Look forward to the rest of this series. Very excited by it. Yeah, if you like pulp type stuff, if you're a fan of Francisco Fracavilla's work, I would suggest picking it up. It's not blow your mind story-wise, but it's solid and fun, and the art is outstanding. Lastly, I'm going to talk about The Massive, and this is issue 8 and part 2 or 3 of the story arc called Schism. And this book, I just think gets better and better. This character Mary that's in here, Callum, the head of the Massives, not the Massive, but the head of the Capitol, and the Ninth Wave, his kind of girlfriend, first mate. She is so interesting, and in this, I just can't figure out what her motivation is. It's not that the writer's making it unclear that we don't know what her motivation is. We just don't know what her motivation is yet. We're starting to see all these actions. Pretty soon, I'm assuming we're going to get what her motivation is, but it's just craziness. And at the end of this thing, I don't know, it's almost like a mutiny of sorts. It's really fascinating, and just really rich, I think, with the what if, what could possibly be society of kind of a post, everything's gone in the dump, and now they got to figure out how to fix it all. Not total apocalypse, as in everything is completely and utterly decimated, and people are like Commandy or something, but definitely things have gone to hell in a handbasket. What now? How does society work? How does it operate? And this is just really interesting. And this story in particular, like I said, the Mary character I just find absolutely fascinating. This issue is even more interesting than prior issues where she knew about this Arctic, secret lab geothermal place that she kind of knew all the ins and outs of and whatnot, and you kind of wondered, and they never really gave us a full idea of why she knew all that, but just that it added to the fact that this character is far more depthy than what she seems at face value. Yeah. Anyway, very much enjoying this book. Yeah. And that is it for this No Capes. I'll be back later on in the week, I'm sure, with more No Capes as more of my comics roll in. I'll catch you all later on in the week. Bye.